I just keep hearing last minute plea deal denied. And if this is for you, I just keep hearing devastating consequences of unchecked pride. And if this is for you, I want to tell you that you didn't recoil and your heart refused to hesitate. They thought they could get you to walk it back, not recognizing that they drew the line. And what they thought was the start was actually the finish. We're going to use the Tarot of the Abyss. And if this is for you, I want to tell you, I did a message on 8/31 where you put your flag in the top of the mountain because the illusion of your demise was actually your comeback. What they thought was the starting line was actually the finish. And the devastating consequences of unchecked pride becomes thinking that the finish line was to make it to the top of the mountain. Because the start was the finish and the finish was the start. And it starts at the bottom, makes its way to the top, to come back to the bottom. And if this is for you, we have Justice in reverse. Their last minute plea deal was denied. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. The Star. You became the sword that cuts through deception. You have the Knight, you have the Queen, and you have the Star. You became the sword. You became the light that cuts through the deception. And what was a mirror of one becomes the mirror of many. The Wise One. The Page of Pentacles. I want you to see the key in his hand. And he can't see what he's looking for, but he has the key. The Eight of Wands. I just want to point out flying in formation. Flying in formation. And I legit want to say the word Delta. Four of Wands. This is the finish line. What appeared as the start was actually the finish. The Lovers. The Ace of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles. I want you to see the... Hold on. The key. The trapdoor. The key. The trapdoor. The valley. The trust fall. The going back to the starting line was because of what you had left there. It's because of what was still buried so that you could become the sword of deception so that you could become the sword that cuts through the truth of deception. If this is for you, I want to tell you that the remaining part of your free fall has been August 31st to now. This is the energy of your finish line. But to finish is always to start again, and it's to start with a new lens. It's to start with a new perspective. It's to become a light to show others how to navigate through the darkness. The valley was never the punishment. It was always the door. And if this is for you, if you go back to that August 31st video, it was the illusion of your demise was actually your comeback. And that you anchored in to that new grid. You untethered from your karmic wheel. Your heart refused to hesitate. And you didn't recoil. You didn't recoil into your wheel. You didn't recoil into the karma. Your heart didn't hesitate. That was your start. Whether you realized it or not, that became your start, but ultimately your finish. Because your heart refused to hesitate. The ending was already written. That was the top of your mountain. That was where you planted your flag. That was where you almost got purged back into the darkness, the shadows. It's like when God turned the power saver down on everyone. Would you recognize your light in the valley, in the shadows? Would you find the gift that was in the shadows? And if this is for you, you found it. But to come full circle, the start and the finish. Now that you have found the gift, what will you do with it? What will you do with the gift that you were given that was your birthright? What will you do with your gift now that others are in the valley of the shadows? Love you.